Welcome to the Deucecast Extra. We are here for Wandavision episode 4, appropriately titled "We Interrupt This Program." First of all, huge prop to Dr. Earl, Beekeeper Earl. You kind of called it last week that we got a Monica Rambeau episode.
Yeah, we got a flashback episode.
I did not see that coming at all. So very impressed with you there, sir, calling that. I thought it was a very good episode. I won't say like totally needed, but I think that it was a good pause in what they had been doing to really like hype it.
I think it was needed.
You think it was needed? Yeah. What about you, Earl?
About this?
Yeah. Do you think it was like a needed episode, or should they have just?
No, I think it was totally needed. I think because you had so much, you weren't getting much of the mystery unraveled with these TV shows for the first first 3 episodes, just little glimpses, and so I think it helped to sort of unwrap things.
Totally. Rhett's right. I mean, as always, Rhett's right. But
we bow to Rhett.
Yeah, we bow to Rhett. I love how the episode started, and it was funny. I'm watching it with my family because it's kind of a family-friendly show in a way, and I had to pause it and explain to them because they have not seen any of the MCU movies. So I had to pause it and actually explain to them.
Who's that?
You see, Thanos snapped.
Yeah, exactly. I said Thanos snapped, and then Hulk snapped again. And apparently in the MCU, they call that the blip, which is, I didn't know that, but apparently that's what they are calling it officially when...
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought it was a joke in Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yeah, that's
what they call it, the blip.
In universe, it is called the blip when everyone starts to come back. I saw
after 5 years, right?
Yes, and that's one thing. I mean, I made sure to look this up, but they do say this is 2023. Basically, is what we're looking at. So it's after the events of Endgame, obviously, but not but before Spider-Man: Far From Home. Is what I understand.
It could be around the same time. Who knows?
The thing that I read was pretty definitive in saying that it was before Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Okay. So
I don't know if that's of importance, but perhaps it is. I don't know. I mean, that could be a substantial thing. What's up, Nate? How's it going, buddy?
I'll see Nate bringing it.
So we start the episode, right away. Monica is unblipping.
Yes. And she's hearing audio from the Captain Marvel movie.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I read that. I was like,
that is really.
It's like she's dreaming back when
she's hearing. Maybe? Yeah, I don't know. Her life is coming back together. I don't really know.
Yeah, it's really strange.
That first scene was great.
I think it's literally just for the audience to be like, by the way, this is that child.
Yeah. What up, Fatmatic? How's it going, buddy?
I think that first scene was amazing.
I was hooked right away when I saw that first scene, and really loving it, just in general, Tiana Paris. I think that she is great as Monica Rambeau. I think she got to show some dramatic chops, and it was cool that they kind of gave her own episode in a way.
Yeah.
In general, I think that was very cool. I like the fact in her mind it's only been about 20 minutes, but she runs into this doctor that has to explain to her, no, it's been 3 years, and 2 years ago your mom died, basically, or about a year ago or whatever.
Her mom died. Her mom died in 2020 in the MCU.
Yeah,
so she died 3 years ago, and which was 2 years after you.
2 years into the snap, right?
Yep.
After the snap,
we've got semantics Rhett here. Let me see if I can show what he's saying.
That's Sony for you.
Spider-Man: Far From Home.
The Sony messed up the blip.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so Sony doesn't know what they're doing. That's on them.
This is accurate.
What were you gonna? What
from Feige?
That this is accurate. This is accurate unblipping, or is it just blipping
or whatever?
I don't know.
Is it unblipping? What do you call it? Unsnapping? I don't know.
This episode,
they call it the blip back.
Yeah, they do. This episode, and we haven't gotten to some of that yet, some of the stuff that I think correlates towards that yet, but it almost felt like an episode where everyone kind of played the audience of what the viewers were talking about with WandaVision.
Yes.
And we'll get into more of that in a second. I can point towards more of that once we get to Jimmy Woo and Darcy.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think that's right on the money.
The acting director. Oh, go ahead, Earl. What were you saying?
I'm done.
Oh,
are we freezing up?
Well, the acting director. A little bit. It's not bad though. I mean,
no, Earl, you're fine on my end.
We're blipping. It's just on my end. You guys are blipping a little bit.
Okay.
So we've got this acting director Hayward, new character. Obviously.
Yeah.
This is not a guy that we have really seen much of before, and he immediately tells Monica she is grounded, basically.
Yeah.
So she was wanting to go back up in space, kind of like what I was gathering.
Yeah, Sword was kind of a space
because
focused, right? Because
her
mother
they are
was.
Yes,
they are in the comics. I do know that.
Yeah, and I still think they are. I mean, I know they changed, one of the letters to mean weapon instead of what it meant in the comics, but I mean,
which was world, right?
Strategic
world.
Which was world, yeah. So it not like a big difference, but I think it's fine. But yeah, she wanted to go back up in space. I mean, that's obviously what she was doing before, and she wanted into it. And
she was trying to badge in.
Yep.
She was trying to get everything expired.
She gets into a secret government facility. I can tell you it would not be that easy to just walk in with your badge not working like that. But it's a TV show. I'll suspend disbelief.
I mean, yeah, Red, of course. I mean, this is all Elon Musk. I mean, we're just going to be jumping back and forth to space. It's not a problem.
Dude, we have all that
SpaceX.
Atari tech.
Oh yeah, that's actually a great point, Earl. They're going to be more advanced in their technology because of that. They're going to absolutely blame that kind of thing.
They're going to have research Atari tech, and that's a throwback.
Yes.
Just so we can jump forward to Nate's comment, because I totally agree in Nate's comment. I mean, she basically gets sent on this missing persons mission, right? I mean, which she's like, what? Why am I doing this? But why am I doing this? And like Nate says, I would totally watch an MCU show of just Jimmy Woo doing like case of the week. I mean, I would love that stuff. Oh wow, you got Rhett to agree with you, Dr. Earl, talking about the technology. That's rare. That's rare.
He's thinking of a workaround. He's thinking of
no, I know. He's always that way. But
having Darcy and Jimmy Woo as a team up, that would be pretty cool.
Well, that would be fun.
I mean, Darcy's not necessarily a part of either of these agencies. She's not Sword.
She's an astrophysicist.
She's just an astrophysicist. She's doctor.
Doctor. Yes.
We have to respect the doctor.
What's her last name? I don't even know her last name.
Lewis, yeah.
Darcy Lewis, okay.
Dr. Lewis, yeah, exactly. So basically, we come upon these two local police officers, who I recognized one of those guys just as that guy in a bunch of stuff. The guy that actually had lines. He looked familiar as sort of like a that guy. And they basically say Westview doesn't exist. Now, what do we make of that?
That was bizarre, because there's a sign right there behind them.
Yeah.
Well, the characters of the show don't even seem to know what to make of it, obviously, as we see. Yeah. But they literally write on the board is there like selective amnesia within a certain radius of the town, that kind of thing. I would imagine it's just affecting the people maybe from the town or in close proximity to the town, because like you said, Jimmy Woo can see that that's Westview. Monica can see that's Westview. All the government agents they bring in can see it's Westview. It's just a really tiny amount of people who are being affected.
Yeah.
And family
Westview,
and friends.
by the way, is WandaVision. WB.
WB.
And
I'm
also
popping my collar for Roth from Washington.
Family and friends
There
of this witness protection person also completely don't remember him anymore. That's a really interesting occurrence. I'm very interested to see who this person is in witness protection and if they're an actual important character in the show, in the puzzle box of the show.
Oh, I don't think they'll leave that thread.
Yeah,
I think that
no, they'll reveal it. But there's somebody in witness protection, right?
Yep.
And didn't he say it was a he, or did I?
Yes, he did say he.
Yep.
I noticed that as well.
He did say he did. Now, I mean, do we think that this is Agnes's husband that they are referencing as the missing person?
Mephisto?
Well,
I would hope Mephisto wasn't in.
Oh, you mean Ralph? You mean Ralph?
Ralph.
But it could be Mephisto.
That's what she keeps calling him, Ralph. But
yes.
I mean,
let's also think about. Well, maybe we should wait till we get there. But I'll hold up on about Agnes because there's an interesting thing about her.
Yeah.
Later on, but
well, there was certainly. I mean, just sort of going in order of the episode. I mean, the cop says the cop says there's no west view, there's an east view. That was kind of funny. A little funny line there.
He's from Eastview. Yeah,
he's from Eastview, and so the cops just kind of take off. They're like, we don't need.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah, we don't need to be here. We're taking off. So they send the drone in, which
high-tech drone, by the way.
Very high-tech drone.
Just kidding. It looked terrible.
Well, no, but that's the key. It was supposed to look different enough than the helicopter that they find.
Oh, no, I know. But
I mean, no, you're right. I mean, it didn't look
great. Like some chintzy prop from a comic. I don't know. Like a K&B or something.
Yeah, but I mean
they have very advanced technology. It doesn't mean it has to look good.
Well, that's true. Okay, that's
exactly. Yeah.
And then she walks up and she's like, "Hey, where'd it go?" And
wait, what? I missed. Where did they mention that? Ross?
They mentioned an astronaut program that they have kind of had to at least shut down for a small amount of time at Sword, and a lot of people have taken that and run with it and said, "Is that going to be a setup for Fantastic Four?" And it absolutely could be a setup for Fantastic Four.
I like that.
Wow.
And see these Easter eggs. I just I don't catch all this stuff.
That's a slick pickup there for sure.
Yeah, there were missing astronauts from the snap. Yeah, they could be who knows?
Yeah,
I think we're going to get casting news on Fantastic Four within the next within the next year. So,
yeah, that's fair.
Oh, okay. So it was from the snap. Okay, I did hear that part, but I was for some reason I didn't correlate the two things. Maybe that could be a Fantastic Four, but I mean that would be kind of cool if it was because that's their origin story in a way.
Red just kills it. He's just like, "Nah, that's just the snap."
Oh, I need to watch that. I need to listen to that show. I've heard that that's a good show. Lights, Camera, Barstool. I've actually
didn't we didn't mention Jimmy Woo's magic ability has gone up since the last time we saw him. He was good with sleight of hand.
Yeah, he's been practicing that Scott Lang taught him, right?
Yeah, after he totally failed in Ant-Man and the Wasp and the whole deck went flying.
Yeah, I do like that. I saw a little clip about that on Twitter where they were talking about how he's been practicing or whatever because he was jealous of Scott Lang.
It's been 5 years since that movie, timeline wise, so it's a lot of time to practice that.
You can get that magic trick down.
Yeah.
All right, I'll send you that that money now, Roth. Thanks, man.
You get a free T-shirt for.
No, we don't have any T-shirts. You don't have any T-shirts left. Got a lot of patches, no T-shirts.
I got Sean's T-shirt. I'll mail it to him.
There you go.
He never picked it up. So.
Monica, being, I guess, Sword, not afraid of anything, walks straight up to the force field or whatever, which
looks like a CRT TV almost. Kind of.
Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah,
she gets sucked in. She's in.
You get sucked in very quickly. And Jimmy Woo's not very chivalrous. He doesn't not follow her at all. He's like, I'm out. He's like, I'm just gonna.
I gotta call her boss.
Yeah,
it's like I ain't doing that.
Yeah, he called Sword up, and they We're not very clear on how much time jump is there between
24 hours later.
You think it's 24 hours? Is that
they say it on the screen? Or wait, what are we talking about?
Like the setup for all
Darcy to show up?
The Sword headquarters.
I don't know. I don't know.
Am I frozen?
No. I don't know what was said. Sorry.
No, the Sword headquarters. I think it was only like
20, it's like 12 hours or 24
12 hours, 24 hours.
Oh, from Sword headquarters to New Jersey?
No.
Yeah.
Just between the time she got sucked into it. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
To the time Darcy and them show up is that what you're asking?
Yeah, because there's not much.
They said 24 hours on the screen.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that. Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, I thought that we weren't very clear on the amount of time that had passed between, but they basically caught it. They caught us up pretty quickly because Darcy figured out how to watch the episodes. The sitcom
she pulls out an old oscilloscope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Little cathode ray tube run.
Yeah, it's funny how they had no problem finding those TVs. They were bringing in old TVs,
right?
Left
yeah,
and
that
right.
was a little weird.
I'm like, I guess you can go to a pawn shop and find some old TVs. I don't know. I haven't tried to go look for a CRT TV in a while.
Well,
so.
And they kind of said, "Oh, you have to get a different TV for the." I was like, "Why would you have to get a different TV for each decade?" I mean, they were all. That was kind of like, what? What are they? What? I didn't get that, but
I mean, once you get the CRTV, like when I was a kid, we had the CRTV that was in the piece of furniture. It was like in the cabinet,
the big cabinet model. Yeah.
I very much agree, Nate.
Oh yeah. Rhett's probably right. They went to the antique store in Eastview, right down the road.
Probably a lot of those in Jersey. Everything.
Yeah, probably actually. There's probably a lot of CRT TVs in Jersey.
When she pulls out that oscilloscope, it says Cyroscope, I think.
Cyroscope.
But it also says Lexington Instruments, which is believed to be a nod towards Alexander Lexington, who was a mutant in the comics, who works in the military.
Easter eggs left and right.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm sure there's tons that we're not even catching.
Well, the Nerdist had all these things about the numbers, like the room number. He goes, and if you look at Avengers 101, then and I'm like, there's no connection there, dude.
Yeah, I dismiss a lot of those little.
It was a lot of weird, like, and if you connect here, then Wanda's mad in this issue. And so, I'm like, no, that's a bit of a stretch.
Did it say what mutant he is?
Lexington, the guy.
Alexander Lexington's his name. He just said he worked for the military. I don't really know him that well. I'm not a big X-Men comic guy.
Yeah, I don't know if he's an X-Men. He's a
Oh, I see what you're saying. He's just in the comic. He's not necessarily a mutant. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean that's stuff that I would never catch in a million years, just because I haven't read all those comics. So all those little Easter eggs, just yes, the QAnon approach to the show.
Yeah,
just finding every single Easter egg that you
go with the Nerdist breakdown of this episode. It goes way and all this like
it does crazy. Exactly.
So Darcy shows up, she starts cracking wise, and then Jimmy Woo comes up and he's like, so she put herself into or he's like, so she's in a TV show? Like, he's just so confused. Like, I love Jimmy's
so I don't recall, not that I have seen Dark World more than once, I don't recall Darcy's voice being that shrill. Like,
no, she's
really?
She's pretty annoying in Dark World.
Yeah, she's really annoying in Dark World.
I'm like, she's really
how she talks.
Her and her intern
on her voice there. I mean, I didn't get that sense from Dark World, but I guess I don't know. Yeah, I mean, she was kind of getting on my nerves a little bit. It was fine.
What's the actress's name? It's
Kat Dennings.
Kat Dennings. Kat Dennings, if you're watching right now, you're a delightful actress. We enjoy your performances. We know you're probably watching. So,
I guarantee that she will never see this. So, it sort of stinks that we didn't get to see any of the other scientists do anything. We kind of just
they showed up in a truck, and they're all off in different tents. They're all working in different sectors.
Maybe we'll get an episode for each of them since there's 9.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I mean now speaking of QAnon, there's the secret 10th episode that did you? Yeah,
10 episodes.
Apparently,
is that a real rumor you just read?
Yes, that is a real rumor.
I don't believe it.
This particular actress who plays Agent Rodriguez on some random website, like a casting website, it shows that she's in episode 10 of WandaVision.
I don't.
It's probably a typo, but apparently this particular actor. So now, of course, there's article after article on the internet about how there's a secret 10th episode of WandaVision. So I doubt it. Though.
Jimmy Woo starts putting up.
Yes.
Are we ready to talk about that yet?
Yeah. Before he does that, he says that line I think you guys are referencing to. So you're saying the universe created a sitcom starring the Avengers?
That's it. Yeah.
And she said, I think it's a working theory or something like that.
That's a good line.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And she goes, well, it's a working theory. Yeah.
And then we see the end of episode 1 with her closing the book with the roadcaster next to her, which I still don't understand what that's doing over there. Anyway, she's not making a podcast, but.
No. I guess she's just maybe like recording.
Well, they could be recording the audio. There are better equipment there. There's better equipment there.
Does Jimmy Woo go out and do the message first before we get to the?
No.
Oh yeah.
No. They start identifying the names first after the end of episode 1. Once they have a full episode, and in this full episode, by the way, uncut. This is the one that she still says stop it. They don't show a cut there. So
yeah, that was interesting.
Oh, interesting.
I'm still very I have some things to say about the cuts, obviously, but. Whether it's Wanda or maybe it's someone else, but
we right away find out that the boss and his wife are real people and a real couple in real life.
Right.
Which is funny. We find out that
mustache guy, Schwimmer
guy is a real person. His next door neighbor is a real person.
Yep. Norm, who's he's Abhilash Tandon, is what they called him.
Yeah.
What about Herb though? I didn't see Herb.
Herb was John Collins.
Yeah.
John Collins, you're right. But
Agnes, though, they did not find.
Agnes, yes.
He has no record.
Agnes had no ID. They had a lot of stuff written down. And a couple points in the show, you can pause and read what they've written down. And so there's another person missing from that, and that's Dottie. She's also missing from the list. And I can tell that they are going from episode 2 at this point because they put up Beverly's name, and Beverly was only available in episode 2, and they specifically put that on her sheet. I read it. I paused the episode and could read her sheet that said, the 60s episode or whatever.
60s episode, yeah.
And but they still had no sheet for Dottie. Now I don't know if that's because Dottie didn't show up until they went to do that thing at the pool, the meeting at the pool.
Right.
So they didn't know who she was yet, and he did the call out to her.
So I think
here's that.
So there's a there was a playback of a moment where Catherine Hahn and I think where did Dottie show up the second episode?
Yes,
that was
well, she was at the beginning. She was towards the beginning of the second episode where they're walking by her house. And that's kind of the first meeting. And then
Catherine Hahn says something like, she runs everything in this town or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes me a little, now these might just be red herrings they're setting up to fanboys.
I don't think we've seen the true villain yet, but I could be wrong.
No, I mean, a lot of people think it's this Ralph guy.
I'm going to say this now. I think Catherine Hahn is Agatha Harkness.
Yes.
I do think that.
I think that, but that character, so there's different iterations of that character, though.
She's a nanny for the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, she's like, but then sometimes she's bad too, though.
Probably.
She was a tutor for Wanda in some Avengers comic book I had where they.
Yeah, she's from the Salem witch trials, I guess. She's an actual witch, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they said something about there's the date. There's
Her
something
date of
about,
her anniversary.
Huh?
I
It's
think
like,
it was
the date of the Salem witch trials, like 1602 or something.
Yeah.
Somewhere around Dottie's, I don't know, like her address or something. I don't know. That's a pretty deep dive, but
that's some deep stuff.
That was on the Nerdist. I was like, man,
this is like when people were watching Lost. I mean, this is some deep stuff that people are diving into, trying to figure stuff out on this show.
There was some interesting stuff they wrote on the board while they were identifying people. You had I like the what we don't know board because again, it's very much what we're doing every week. Why the hexagonal shapes, which we haven't talked about that much, but I have been like, what is that shape doing? Why sitcoms? Why same time and space? Which I've had a couple friends text me. Is this even the same universe as the MCU? You know, are they jumping around? You know, that kind of thing. Is Vision alive? Which, of course, we've had that discussion.
Right.
And I think this week, I don't know that they answered that question, but it certainly had a pretty creepy moment.
Yes.
Towards maybe potentially answering the question.
Yeah, for sure.
They also had who is behind this on the board, and it had scrolls question mark.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think Red just put the numbers up for.
Those are the lost numbers.
The lost numbers.
Oh, I haven't seen Lost.
What?
I was lost when he put that.
Yeah, you haven't done Lost yet? Oh man.
No.
It's a good. Well, it's like chasing rabbits, but it's good.
It's all puzzle box J.J. Abrams stuff. So yeah, I mean, I like that we're kind of getting some potential insight on what's going on. Now, one thing that I'm kind of not clear on is, were these people in this town before, or did Wanda bring them all with her because she knew them somehow? I wasn't quite clear on that.
I'm pretty sure they're all in the town. They're all people from that town.
They're all people from that town.
You notice all their New Jerseys were New Jersey. All their driver's licenses were New Jersey driver's license.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
aren't they all from Eastview? Is that what we're thinking? That
Westview, I think.
Is there a Westview though?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there probably is, but people, like we said earlier, people when they get close to that billboard or the town, they get this amnesia where they don't remember it being there. That's kind of like what I figure.
Yeah,
we'll find out. All will be explained.
Yeah, it will.
Maybe
it's 5 more episodes to be explained. Yeah, and watch out, be careful on the internet, guys, because some spoilers from episode 6 have already leaked.
Episode 6?
Well, I'm sure they're about to appear in the chat. Then thanks for triggering.
Episode 5 and 6, or just
no, just episode 6.
Oh, interesting. So episode 5 is. I'm assuming episode 5 is this Halloween episode. Is that
so? The clips were from the Halloween episode, and people are calling it episode 6.
Oh, okay. So this next one is going to be more
80s.
80s.
It's the 80s one, I think.
The 80s one where she has the big crazy hair. Okay.
Yeah, now, there's a trailer for it, and you see some.
Yeah, actually, that trailer is interesting because it gave us some more looks at some stuff we hadn't seen.
Yeah, I liked that trailer. They called it the mid-season trailer. So I thought it was a pretty good, very good trailer.
Very special Wandavision.
They definitely blatantly showed us. I don't know which episode it'll be in, but Wanda doing the diary, talking directly to the camera stuff.
Yes,
that
30 something or.
Yeah, I don't know
what city or.
Well, when I think about that, I mean, the first time I really saw that was Real World, like MTV's Real World, where there's like a diary room and they're talking to the camera directly and stuff. But maybe
It seemed like 30 something to me. I don't even know.
Oh,
if
30 something. Okay. See, I didn't watch that show, so I didn't know if they had that type of stuff.
It's probably a reference towards the 2000s, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
I want a Full House episode too, Nate.
I'm told I would love that too. I think that would be so meta.
Have the Olsen twins come in.
Yeah, yes. I would be thrilled. Just a little tiny cameo.
Yeah, see, I'm not familiar with 30 something, so they do that where they talk directly to the camera in 30 something.
Yeah, it's real self sort of. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
It was kind of that's almost, was that 90s or 80s? I don't.
That was
I never
late
watched
80s. That was late 80s, maybe, and I think it went into the 90s a little bit.
Ed Maddox, right? There was something that looked like Married with Children too.
Well, I was thinking that too, just because her hair was so big, like Meg's was. But that's 90s. So we might see that. I don't
that
know.
may be a scene from another show.
The thing is, all these episodes have been kind of an amalgamation of different shows from those eras.
Sure.
So it could have some Full House vibes and some Married with Children vibes, and
Yeah.
So the guy goes through the sewer. They send a guy in.
Yeah.
Agent Franklin.
Okay. Is it Franklin? Is it Franklin, the son of the Fantastic Four? No.
I know. I thought.
And because of the blip, he's grown up. And no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. He's older than his parents.
So that's really cool when he goes through, and all of a sudden he changes into Beekeeper Earl as he's passing through, and he's got bees around him, which is randomly
and
weird.
his tether changes into a jump rope,
an old jump rope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we used to have those in elementary school. Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like, of course, there's some theories that he's going to turn into Swarm, but I don't.
And some people thought initially that he was when the first episode came out, second episode came out. The people initially thought he was Grim Reaper. We've seen Grim Reaper's helmet in the second episode intro, but I don't think he's going to be Grim Reaper. And there have been people asking where he went after she knowed him. I have seen some people say, and I can't confirm this, that they saw him in a different role in the third episode. So he is a part of the town apparently now. I'd like to confirm that myself. I'd like to scour for him.
I
didn't find the time, but I
would venture to say he's probably hanging out.
He's been assimilated.
Well, wait, the third
it's the same thing that happened to Monica.
Yeah. There's not too many scenes in the third. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. There's not too many places in the third episode he could be, though.
Yeah, I think it was the intro, but I could be wrong.
Oh, okay.
So did the doctor who delivered her, did he have a driver's license photo?
Yeah, they didn't identify him yet, but again, when they were identifying episodes 1 and 2 mostly.
Yeah.
So there's 3 figures on Agnes's brooch, and there's some speculation that it's Mephisto, Agatha Harkness, whatever her name is, and then somebody else that
Nightmare.
Dottie. I mean, I don't know. That okay. So here's a big question. Well, no, we don't get there yet. Hold on. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I don't want to go there yet because it's near the end of the episode.
We see Wanda know him. And again, it's been cut from the episode, though. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
No. No, who? The beekeeper?
Yeah.
Yeah, she basically says she wants him out of the episode. I mean, she says no, and then
it's interesting because the broadcasts going out aren't the same ones we're seeing at home. Because we're seeing the whole thing. We're seeing the whole shebang. We're getting unfiltered access into WandaVision's universe. And the FBI is getting cut episodes.
Well, I mean, but in the end, it like some Easter eggs, it just might be fun Easter eggs for people that don't go anywhere. I mean, I certainly agree with Rhett here. Taking a big risk with obscure references, but if they don't go anywhere, then it's just kind of fun for the people that are figuring them out, I guess. I don't know.
The MCU's had a lot of references that haven't gone anywhere.
I mean, that's been part of it.
I think if people who like are just like, oh man, this show's not any good, just say, wait a minute, think of it as a puzzle to figure out.
Yeah.
And think of it more like a Twilight Zone or a Lost that you just need to discover and try to think about and figure it out. So
I agree, Brian. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is right. Yeah. I mean, we know more than what these. Because the agents aren't seeing
They
all
don't
of
know
the episode
if
that the
Wanda's
audience
doing
is.
these things or what. Yeah. That's kind of the
interesting.
question until the end of the episode.
Yeah. She like Wanda or whomever. It could be Wanda that's doing this, or somebody is making it so the agents cannot see every single thing that happens.
Right.
So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, so we can kind of jump ahead because we know
Jimmy Woo is the voice on that
right
microphone,
which Garrison called that a long time ago. I mean,
we're calling it.
Yeah.
Is Garrison frozen?
I think Garrison's frozen. I don't know.
Garrison, you look frozen, man.
We can how do I?
He's loaded.
Okay.
He's reloaded. He's back. Okay.
Hello. Well, for some reason, my
Welcome
good
back.
Wi-Fi went out, so I'm on my bad Wi-Fi now. So this is gonna be fun.
Okay. You're on the bad. That's good that you're on the bad Wi-Fi.
Hey, pay the bill on the good one, man.
I don't know what you guys talked about, but I'm sure it was awesome.
Well, we just talked about how they did the reveal for most people that Jimmy Woo was the voice on the radio,
Wanda,
which you
who's
already
doing this to you,
which you already knew.
Yeah, and we gave you the credit for it.
It was cool because they totally thought it didn't do anything. They thought it was a mission failure, as they said. Blinking.
That's true. Yeah, because they didn't see that part of the episode because
she
Wanda
cut it. Because I think Wanda cut it, but maybe someone else did.
She cut the bleeding hand part, right?
She cut to that. Yeah. She didn't show them how it happened, but she showed, how do you fix a blah, blah, blah. You got to do it yourself, whatever.
Yeah.
Line from episode 2.
So somebody, either Wanda or somebody is not allowing these agents to see everything.
Right.
So I think that's interesting. I mean, obviously Wanda is controlling some of this because she can send people at will out of the experience. I mean, if she doesn't like something that's going on.
Well, we get that scene in full, don't we? That we had cut. We had cut it last episode.
Yes.
Which, man, Elizabeth Olsen, she was awesome in that scene.
I like the transition between 4:3 to widescreen 2:35.
I love that.
I love how they zoom it in and out.
It's so awesome whenever they do that. It's really some of my favorite stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think that's interesting. That they show us that, and that Elizabeth Olsen is really ticked off. Like Wanda is ticked off.
She is dark.
Yeah, it gets pretty dark.
Yeah.
Also, she sees a dead Vision, or she sees the grayed out Vision.
Oh, boy, that was like a jolt. You were like, "Whoa!"
Yeah. Well,
which
you
to
can
me,
see.
I know you're saying it's a family show, Michael, but like,
yeah,
if I'd been a kid, I probably would have had like.
Thanos just ripped out the stone from his head and he's dead now.
Yeah. I just explained. That's what I told him. I was like, he's actually dead in real life.
So Vision's dead, right? She's just.
Well,
we
don't.
I was. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, my theory on that is that she's breathing life into his carcass. That is potentially his, but but that she may be, through the power of the Mind Stone that they both came from, able to breathe life into him right now with her powers and her altering reality.
Interesting. Okay,
that's right. That both of the actors are killing it.
But
they are. I mean,
when I first watched this episode on the iPad, that scene came up, and I just saw Vision in the background, and he just looked completely off. I was like, did they have a completely different actor back there? Yeah. And then it cuts to his face, and I'm like, oh, okay.
It's like he's a little pale back there. What's going on? Get the makeup test right.
Yeah. I was gonna complain about that continuity error, and then no.
if she's the one that's doing this and keeping him around, I have a hard time believing that she was this damaged to create this whole world.
I think someone's manipulating her.
Okay.
I think so. So even though Monica lands and the very last scene is like, it's all Wanda. It's Wanda.
Yeah.
I still think I'm calling this right now.
Yeah.
I think somebody's manipulating her to have her create these babies. And because this is part of one of the storylines. I can't remember if it's House of M or another. But there's some deal where like Mephisto.
I think it's Scarlet Witch and the Vision and Scarlet Witch or something like that.
That's the one.
80s,
yeah.
The 80s comic.
The 80s. Okay.
That she's manipulated to create babies. That Mephisto takes or controls, or I don't know.
They have like this. They have something to do with him in general, like Demon Soul or something like that. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
I've not read it. Dad has.
I don't know. I don't know if I want I'm cool with the MCU doing crazy stuff, but I just don't know if I want them to go there. That's pretty dark. I mean,
Rosemary's Baby type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to go that dark with it, but they may just have a group of people that are trying to manipulate her to create this alternate reality.
And Wiccan and Speed become real characters in the Marvel comics.
Yeah.
But we're definitely going to see accelerated children who aren't going to ultimately be real, most likely.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like Brian said, yeah, they become part of the New Mutants or Junior X-Men.
Young Adventures, right?
Well,
Young Avengers, maybe. I don't know.
Nate, you see, she's in an American sitcom, so she lost her accent. But then when when Monica mentions Ultron, it sort of comes back.
It does, yeah.
Sort of.
Well, and she was singing to her kids in her accent. I mean,
yes,
or
there's
whatever.
Sokovia.
Yeah, exactly.
You can take the girl out of Sokovia,
right?
But you can't.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, so why do we think that Monica is not necessarily like remembering things while she's in that sitcom? I mean, it's weird.
I don't know. It's very weird because again, there's some sort of influence over these people, because sometimes they seem to have kind of a nature of like, we got to get out of here. There's something wrong.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they're like completely bought into the show.
Yeah.
And you see in the trailer for next week's episode, or trailer for maybe other episodes, you see Agnes's character saying, "Should we take this from the top?" That
was a weird moment in that trailer.
Yeah.
What did that just
like they're filming a show, a sitcom?
Yeah, like they're filming a show. That was a really strange part of that trailer.
That trailer again. I don't know if I saw that.
Yeah, it was real quick. It was like the one line that she said in that trailer, in the mid-season trailer, and it was just weird because then it really points to the fact that all of them actually know what's going on, and that they don't want to tick anybody off.
It looked like Vision was trying to break out in that trailer, by the way, too.
Oh yeah.
He was at the edge of the bubble.
Yeah.
Looked like.
Which I don't think that'll go well for him.
I was going to say, I think ultimately he's going to get pushed back.
if he does get out,
and he might just flop over.
You're just going to see a dead body flop over, basically.
Yeah.
Which would be traumatizing.
So much mystery to figure out. My goodness.
Yeah, exactly.
There's still a lot of mystery, but I liked how much this answered. It satisfied me for a bit.
Well, and the direct tie-in, and that's unfortunately or fortunately, I mean, that's the main difference between this show and all those Netflix shows and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is there was never really huge tie-ins to anything going on in the MCU. And this is like blatantly tying into the MCU, and I like it. I mean, it forces people that want to stay with the MCU to invest in all these shows, which I don't know if I'm going to want to invest in Miss Marvel, but I mean, I guess I'm going to have to. I mean, it seems like everything is going to tie into the MCU. It's funny because I read Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, Mike. I can wait.
No, I was just going to say I read an interesting article today that Jon Favreau mentioned Mandalorian was going to eventually tie into a trilogy of Star Wars movies. So I don't know if that's real, but I mean, yeah, it could be.
Oh, like the own trilogy?
They may take Thrawn to the. They may.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah,
they could go Thrawn with it or something. So what about the commercials that talked about Hydra and those kind of things? And were those in the broadcast back to the agents? The FBI?
Because I saw Darcy watching the Strucker commercial.
Yeah,
okay,
just this tiny amount of it.
I wonder if they picked up on that at all.
I think it was right after Jimmy Woo was talking to Wanda. It cut to that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, they at least they didn't let us know if they were catching on to any of that weird stuff that was in those commercials. No, I'm not even. No,
that's
I'm not even going to put it up.
That's a whole different universe.
I think Mike would agree.
Mike Zero would agree.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
We're talking cryptically to Rhett's comment, so for the audience.
All right. What are we?
Innings. I know you're watching right now. We're referring back to some comments Rhett is making. So please keep watching. We know you love our show.
So what have we missed? We've been going 46 minutes. What have we missed?
I don't think there's much we missed. I mean, there's the Westview sign, which says the same thing it said in the cartoon. Home, it's where you make it, which is still a very very on the nose little line for the town.
Yeah.
Tell Cat that. Oh man, I think I know why you like Thor: The Dark World, Jacob.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only reason apparently.
So where do we go from here? Are we heading into the 80s?
So
yeah, I think the next episode's 80s.
I think we're headed to the 80s. Yeah. And I think we're going to have more. Well, I mean, obviously, as this goes on, I think they're going to be cutting back and forth between the real world and the sitcom world now. And we're going to get, obviously, more information as it goes on.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those things where I didn't think that they could fit so much in to a 30-minute episode, but they did such a great job with this episode of telling like a complete story in 30 minutes. It was pretty impressive. I mean,
it was a great episode.
Yeah, it was a very good episode. So I think that's going to wrap us up though. I mean, we've been talking longer about the episode than the length of the episode. So
there's a lot to break down, guys.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's a lot of Easter eggs. You're right about that. But we will definitely be back next week to discuss episode 5, whatever its title will be. I'm sure it'll be back to a TV type title. This was interrupting the program. So now we're going to jump back into the program and we'll have a funny little TV title for it. So until next week, I appreciate everybody watching. Please click the bell, subscribe, comment, do it all, share it. Whatever all the kids say with their YouTube shows.
Mash the bell. Mash the
bell. Like the button. Click the share. Yeah. Whatever. All of that. And also we have a podcast, the Deucecast. Go to thedeucecast.com. And every week we release a fun movie episode. I think Wednesday of this week. What did we do, Earl? A tournament episode, a fun tournament episode. We have not done one in a while, so it's been a long time since we've done a tournament episode. So we're back to a really good tournament episode that releases this Wednesday. So check that out on all of your podcatchers. We're pretty much anywhere and everywhere, including iHeart, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts. Google is no more. I don't think they have podcasts anymore.
Interesting.
But we're pretty much everywhere. So check it out on thedeucecast.com or whatever podcatcher you use. Appreciate everybody watching. Thanks so much to everybody in the live chat. That was really fun. And anybody that is watching this back, please leave a comment. I'll do my best to answer any comments or questions that come. So thanks so much. Everybody have a great night.